Well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this village board meeting to order on Monday, August 19, 2019. What an amazing crowd we have tonight. You'd think we were swearing in a new police chief or something. So we very much appreciate everybody being here to support these four fine individuals being promoted here this evening. And so with that, I'd like you to all join the village board in rising and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Canty?
Here.
Trustee Scaletta?
Here.
Trustee LaBedz?
Here.
Trustee Padovani?
Here.
Trustee Tinaglia?
Here.
Trustee Rosenberg?
Here.
Trustee Baldino?
Here.
Trustee Schwingbeck?
Here.
President Hayes?
Here. We do have some official business to conduct tonight before we do the promotion, so we do have to approve some minutes. And the first is a set of minutes from the committee of the whole meeting from July 9, 2019. Are there any changes or passes?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Trustee LaBedz, seconded by Trustee, who was it down there, Padovani. Any questions or comments from the board or the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next are the committee of the whole meeting minutes from July 15, 2019. Any changes or passes?
Move approval. Second.
Motion to approve by Trustee Scaletta, seconded by Trustee Baldino. Any questions or comments from the board or the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And finally, the village board meeting minutes from August 5, 2019. Any changes or passes?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Trustee Baldino, second by Trustee Canty. Any questions or comments from the board or the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move on to the approval of the accounts payable, and I'd call on Trustee Rosenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Hayes. I'd move approval of the warrant register with a check date of August 15, 2019 in the amount of $3,818,231.50.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Rosenberg, second by Trustee Scaletta. Is there any questions or comments from the board? Anything from the audience? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Rosenberg?
Yes.
Trustee Scaletta?
Yes.
Trustee Schwingbeck?
Yes.
Trustee Padovani?
Yes.
Trustee Canty?
Yes.
Trustee Tinaglia?
Yes.
Trustee Baldino?
Yes.
Trustee LaBedz?
Yes.
President Hayes?
Yes. Well, next is recognitions and presentations. And the reason why I think most of you are here this evening, and we can't thank you enough for joining everyone here this evening. It really shows how much we all work together as a team to support all of our fellow employees here in this village, and we very much appreciate your support for these four individuals this evening and all of your great efforts on behalf of the Village of Arlington Heights. We're very fortunate to have two promotions in the police department and two in the fire department tonight. So we've got all of our uniform safety personnel here this evening, and just another opportunity again to thank all of the men and women for these fine departments, for keeping us safe on a daily basis, and for all the great work that they do for our community. So with that, I would like to step down, and let me just move this over here. And first, if Nick Pecora could join me up front. Nick Pecora began his career with the Arlington Heights Police Department in 1982 as a public service officer. In 1986, he was sworn in as a police officer. During the following 6 years, Nick held a series of assignments to include patrol shift duties, field training officer, and forensic technician. Nick was assigned to the Criminal Investigation Bureau for 10 years, and during that time, he investigated a wide spectrum of crimes to include everything from theft to murder. As part of this assignment, Nick also participated in two high-profile multi-jurisdictional task force units, the Northwest Suburban Auto Theft Task Force and the Major Case Assistance Team. Nick maintained a supervisory function in both task force assignments. In 2002, Nick was promoted to sergeant, where he performed frontline supervisory duties in patrol and community services. In 2006, Nick was promoted to commander. In this role, he managed the daily operations of the Community Services Bureau and later a patrol shift. 3 years later, Nick was promoted to deputy chief and initially assigned to lead the patrol and traffic division. This assignment involved managing the delivery of police services provided to the community by a majority of the department's uniformed personnel. In 2011, Nick assumed command of the Administrative Services Division, his most recent assignment. As the administrative deputy chief, Nick was responsible for overseeing the police department's budget, personnel management, internal affairs, accreditation process, and the training function. Nick holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Robert Morris University. He is also a graduate of distinguished executive leadership studies, including Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command and the Federal Bureau of Investigation National Academy. Over his career, Nick has received many letters of appreciation from those he assisted, multiple departmental commendations, and the L.W. Calderwood Officer of the Year Award. Nick and his wife, Deanna, reside in Arlington Heights. They have 3 grown children and 3 grandchildren, all who live in the immediate area. Well, that's a mouthful, Nick, but it's very well representative of the great career that you've had in the village of Arlington Heights and reflective of the reason why you are this evening being promoted to police chief in our great community. So without any further ado, let's make it official. And Nick, if you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Nicholas A. Pecora, Jr.
Having been appointed to the office of Chief of Police
Having been appointed to the office of Chief of Police
in the village of Arlington Heights,
in the village of Arlington Heights,
in the county of Cook,
in the county of Cook,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office according to the best of my abilities.
of the office according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I'd like to present this star to Chief Pecora, and
No blood.
No vest tonight, so be careful.
We got plenty of paramedics here.
You want to get a picture, Diane? Everybody? Okay. Let's turn over here. Let's get a picture of the group.
Come on, everybody.
Oop.
Oh, nice.
Just 10 more.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn the mic over to Chief Pecora, but why don't you guys sit down? He has a tendency to be a little long-winded, so Chief.
We'll cut to the chase. Let me start by introducing my family that was just up here. My wife, Deanna. My daughter, Julie, she's our oldest. She has the 3 little rugrats. Dominic, Lucas, and Andrew. Her husband, Jim, and my double trouble over there, the twins, Rick and Nick. I'm also very honored to have a lot of friends and family here. My mother-in-law are sitting in the second row. I see 2 of my brothers back there in the second row next to them. I know my third brother's back here someplace, and my sister, in the back. And there's my sister. So I've got the gang all here. What an honor and a tribute. I am truly humbled. Let me start out with some thank yous. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the board. It's truly an honor to serve the community that I live in this new capacity. It's a lot of work. I'm ready to put the work into it. The Office of the Chief of Police is codified in an ordinance, and by the ordinance, the village manager makes the appointment. So, Mr. Reckless, our village manager, thank you very much for entrusting me with the power of the office. Very much appreciated. Thank you, sir. And I know a lot of the interview team that made me sweat for the last couple of weeks is here tonight. Robin Ward, our in-house counsel, our photographer, assistant manager, Diana McCool is here. I know James McAllister is back here. I know you're here somewhere, James. Thank you very much. There you are. Chief Larson, I don't see him, but thank you for being part of the interview team that put the trust in me that the manager was able to anoint me. So thank you very much. I can't do this alone. Take a look around the walls, and that's the team that puts the police department on such a high pedestal. Not one person is responsible for the organization being as successful as it is. Recently, we've won awards for being a safe community with a reduced crime rate, safe driving community because of our action in keeping the roadways safe. And that doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate the work that the team does. Thank you very much for all your hard work in making us what I believe is one of the finest police departments in the United States of America. And I'm proud to be a resident here, and I know my family is very proud to live here. Speaking of living here, I'm not an outsider. My parents moved here in 1968. I've lived in Arlington Heights for 51 years. So I'm not an outsider looking in. You know, when I wear the police chief hat, I also wear the resident's hat. So I understand, as a homeowner here, what it takes to be fiscally responsible in running a department with a heavy budget. So I will do my best to make sure that I may remain financially responsible to the community. I know the mayor doesn't want the first honor of order of business to be an extension beyond 11 o'clock, so I'll cut my losses right here. All I can say is thank you to everybody for coming, and we've got 3 other promotions to take care of tonight, and that's the rest of the team. And it's the public safety team that networks together, again, to keep everybody safe when you're in your homes each night. Thank you very much.
Okay, next, Officer Andrew Frankie. Officer Frankie is being promoted from police officer to police sergeant. Officer Frankie attended Western Illinois University, where he received a Bachelor of Science degree in Law Enforcement and Justice Administration. Andrew's experience in law enforcement began with an internship with the Elgin Police Department in 2007. He began his law enforcement career in 2008, serving with the Burr Ridge Police Department. Andrew joined the Arlington Heights Police Department in 2012. During his tenure with the Arlington Heights Police Department, he served as a patrol officer, firearms instructor, motor officer, and criminal investigator. Andrew was selected for and served on the Northern Illinois Police Alarm System Mobile Field Force. He has been the recipient of numerous departmental commendations and letters of appreciation from citizens and other law enforcement agencies. Andrew has been married to his wife, Amy, since 2015, and they have 1 dog named Sophie. So, Andrew, if you're ready, if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Andrew W. Flenchie,
Having been appointed to the office of Police Sergeant
having been appointed to the office of Police Sergeant
in the village of Arlington Heights,
in the village of Arlington Heights,
in the county of Cook,
in the county of Cook,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office according to the best of my ability.
of the office according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
If you do the honor and pin Andrew. Andrew, please wear the badge safely.
Thank you.
Should we get a picture? Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay.
She's like, someone's eyes were
Thanks.
closed.
Congratulations. Andrew, the floor is yours.
Okay. Obviously, I'd like to thank you, Mayor Hayes. Thank the village manager, Randy Recklaus. Thank the board. I appreciate it. I would just like to say I'm very excited for this new opportunity and the challenges that this new position will come with. Thank you very much.
Next, we switch over to the fire department. If Kurt Hanselman will join me up front. And Kurt is being promoted from lieutenant to battalion chief. Kurt Hanselman has been a member of the Arlington Heights Fire Department since March 11, 1996. He came to Arlington Heights with prior service from the Lake Forest Fire Department. Kurt served as a paramedic from 1997 until his promotion to lieutenant on May 7, 2007. He has also served on the department's water rescue team for many years and is the team's assistant dive master. Kurt is the fire department's self-contained breathing apparatus officer and has responsibility for the management of this comprehensive program. His detailed research into regulations, technical issues, inspection, maintenance, and cost effectiveness has been very valuable in the administration of this time-consuming program, which is so vital for the safety and survival of our firefighters. Kurt is also the EMS lieutenant, and in that capacity is in charge of education and serves as such on the Northwest Community Hospital EMS System Education Committee. He also serves on the EMS System Advisory Board. Bert has an associate's degree in fire science from Harper College and is working on his bachelor's in fire administration through Columbia Southern University. He received his advanced technician firefighter certification from the Office of the State Fire Marshal in 1997 and his Fire Officer II certification in 2018. He is also a certified incident safety officer as well as a hazardous materials incident commander. Kurt and his wife Laura and their 3 children live in St. Charles. So Kurt, if we could make it official. So if you just raise your right hand and repeat after me, I, and state your full name.
I, Kurt Hanselman.
Having been appointed to the office of Fire Battalion Chief.
Having been appointed to the office of Fire Battalion Chief.
In the village of Arlington Heights.
In the village of Arlington Heights.
In the county of Cook.
In the county of Cook.
Do solemnly swear and affirm.
Do solemnly swear and affirm.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Discharge the duties.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Kurt. Flowers. For the picture. Got it?
Well, I just want to start by thanking everyone for coming tonight. I wanted to thank my family for all the support that they've given me throughout the years. Without their support, I wouldn't be here tonight. I also wanted to thank all the firefighters. We at the fire department have a unique sense of family. We spend a lot of time together. We spend 24 hours a day, every third day together. You can imagine that's a lot of time. And in that time, we've developed a very strong support network. And with that network, I just want to say thanks for all the support that you guys have given me throughout the years. I did also want to mention that tonight is a little extra special for me because I get to share this night with Ross Chapman. Ross is being promoted to fire lieutenant tonight. Ross and I have spent the last 5 years together working at the same firehouse, same shift. So you can imagine there's a lot of 24-hour shifts there. We've gone to a lot of fire calls, emergency calls, a lot of trainings, and I just wanted to say there's no one else that deserves this more than Ross. So I also, lastly, wanted to say thank you to the board for giving me this opportunity to serve as a firefighter for the village of Arlington Heights. I really couldn't imagine doing any other job. I feel really blessed to have this position, and I just wanted to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I wanted to thank the residents and for giving me this position to serve you better. So, thank you.
And last but not least, Ross Chapman. And Ross is being promoted from firefighter to lieutenant. Ross Chapman joined the Arlington Heights Fire Department in March of 2007. He came to Arlington Heights with 3 years of experience with the Lake Bluff Fire Department. Ross has been serving as a firefighter paramedic since September 2007. He has also been a member of the department's technical rescue team for many years and also serves as a squad officer on the Illinois Urban Search and Rescue Team. He also serves on the MABUS 1 Technical Rescue Team and is a member of the MABUS Technical Rescue Training Committee. Ross received his Urban Search and Rescue Specialist certification from Texas A&M University. As a technical rescue specialist this year, Ross participated in an international rope rescue competition, with his team taking first place in the U.S. and 7th place at the international competition in Belgium. Ross has a bachelor's degree in fire service administration from Southern Illinois University and is currently studying for his master's in emergency response management from Columbia Southern University. Ross holds many certifications from the Office of the State Fire Marshal, including his Advanced Technician Firefighter certification, which he received in 2007, and his Fire Officer 1, which he received this year. Ross has served on the fire department's Foreign Fire Insurance Tax Board for the last 3 years. Ross and his wife Kate and new baby daughter Harper Ann live in Arlington Heights. So Ross, let's make it official. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me, I, and state your full name.
I, Ross James Chapman.
Having been appointed to the office of Fire Lieutenant.
Having been appointed to the office of Fire Lieutenant.
In the village of Arlington Heights.
In the village of Arlington Heights.
In the county of Cook.
In the county of Cook.
Do solemnly swear and affirm.
Do solemnly swear and affirm.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
That I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the office according to the best of my ability.
Of the office according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's get a picture. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Ross.
Well, Kurt stole all my lines, so I got nothing to say anymore. But I just want to say thank you guys to the village board, the Board of Police and Fire Commissioners, village manager, the mayor, fire administration. Thank you guys so much for the confidence in me to put me into this position. I'm really excited about the opportunity. The biggest thank you I have definitely is to the men and women of the Arlington Heights Fire Department. You guys are what makes this whole thing possible. I've had the opportunity to work with some of the best at Station 4 on Black Shift, and I can't thank you guys enough for all that. Lastly, to my family, thanks for all the support, putting up with all the studying, and my girls, Kate and Harper, wouldn't be possible without you. So.
Well, it's easy to see why these men have been promoted and been so successful in their jobs. And so I can't say it any better than these four men did. And so, again, we just thank them very much for all that they've done for the department to this point in their careers, but also for all that they are going to do in the years ahead in their new positions. And so congratulations again to all friends and family, and thank you all for coming tonight. I do want to we've got a lot of distinguished guests and visitors with us tonight, but I do want to recognize just one individual, if I could. Former Mayor Arlene Mulder is with us tonight. Arlene was such a big friend and supporter of both the police and fire departments, and so we can't thank her enough for being here tonight to continue to support the men and women of these fine departments. If you don't know, we did name the new community room in our new police station after Arlene. It's now the Arlene J. Mulder Community Room, and will serve the community as she did for so many years in the years ahead. So again, Arlene, thank you for all you've done for the community, and thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, Tom.
All right. Right, well, we have no other recognitions and presentations, so I'm going to give the majority of the audience the opportunity to file out quietly, if you could, and begin your party.
Call the police. Might. Can we go? Do you know where the party is? Which one? Eddie's, I think. Okay, that's not traditional. I'm in.
For parties, right? It's time.
Yeah, that'd go over like a lead balloon. So nice that they live here in Arlington Heights as well. Yeah. That's a bonus. That's a huge plus. Is more of the folks who are leaders here. If more could, you know. Well, but a lot do. To the, that's wonderful.
Thanks for coming.
It's going to take them a while. I wasn't at the meeting. I was like, absolutely sure.
Okay, we're going to move on in the agenda to citizens to be heard, and we do have one blue card from an individual who would like to address the board on an item not on the agenda, and that's Mary Lou O'Hava. Mary Lou?
Mary Lou O'Hava, 1614 West Sheriff Court.
I would like to address my concerns and remarks to Rich Baldino, Mary Beth Canty, Bert Rosenberg, John Scaletta, and Jim Tinaglia. I have lived in the village also 50 years, and I have found it to be a great place to raise a family. We have a good number of schools, parks, parades, festivals that are all inclusive of families. I don't know who of you have children or grandchildren. My question is, if you have middle schoolers or high schoolers, would you be comfortable with them experimenting with the drug marijuana? Drugs are a big problem in our country. Over the past decade, the main ingredient, THC, has increased from 3% to 12%, thanks to the selected plant breeders. Baby boomers who did use it in the 60s and maybe still do may find that if they consume too much, they can experience paranoia, acute anxiety, and/or hallucinations. Another concern that I have is that a majority on the board have the same mindset of our legislatures in Springfield, all in the name of money grabbing, no matter the consequences. Our village can attract those from neighboring towns who vote no to sell marijuana. Is this what Arlington Heights wants to be known for? With a vibrant downtown, we could have people hanging out, looking to get high. As elected officials, you need to be responsible to all of the residents in our village, not just businesses that are looking to invest in a hot market at this time. I ask that you do research of the states that marijuana has been legal for a while and the statistics of the pros and cons. I thank you for your time and ask that you keep the residents informed of your findings. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mary Lou. Just for your education and for those who are listening and watching tonight, that first discussion that we had was preliminary. We will have a second meeting on this issue where the village board is anticipated to take a final vote. So during that interim process, I anticipate that we'll all be gathering additional information to help us in our decision-making process. And at the second hearing, we will have an opportunity to hear from others who want to weigh in on one side or the other. So thank you for joining us tonight.
I would like to get any information.
Right, we will certainly publicize the next meeting date, and you'll have access to this, essentially the same materials that the board does when they deliberate. So, Mr. Reckloss, anything to add in terms of the time frames?
I was just going to add that this issue will be discussed by both the Board of Health and the Arlington Economic Alliance prior to it coming to the board, so the board can benefit from their recommendations and research and feedback as well.
And I hope the police department and the fire department.
Certainly, the staff from all departments have already looked at this thoroughly, so yes.
Thank you so much.
Right. Trustee Tinaglia.
Thanks, Mayor Hayes. I think it's important that we have an opportunity here to explain one really important fact here. Illinois, on their own terms, decided that marijuana was going to be legal in January. We have no choice in that. So whether someone is going to smoke pot or eat brownies or chew on gummy worms starting January 1st is not up to us. It's not up to me. It's not up to the mayor. It's not up to you. It's not up to our police chief. It's not up to anybody to tell them they can't do that in their own backyard. Now, whether or not it's going to be allowed in a park district or not, park setting or a school playground, that's not what we're talking about here, because nor is alcohol. Those kinds of things are going to be controlled just as they always have. But the use of pot is not at issue any longer as of January 1st. All we can do is control it. So what I think my perspective of this was that we need to control where it is sold, control how it is marketed, and if there's going to be folks in our community that are going to be buying it, do I want them to buy it in Buffalo Grove and have $600,000 worth of tax dollars given to the police department in Buffalo Grove
to get educated and how to handle these issues, or do I want that tax money here so that Chief Pecora and everyone else can use that money to get educated on how to handle it? Otherwise, those tools are coming out of my pocket and everyone else's pocket because we have to do it. We have no choice. If someone is going to smoke pot and drive illegally with that, that's going to happen regardless of whether or not we decide it's okay to sell marijuana in a very specific place that we regulate and zone here. So my whole point on it was just simply control it and make sure that the dollars that are spent on it stay here in Arlington Heights and they don't end up in a neighboring town. That's it.
Can I answer to that?
All right, ma'am, hold on. Let's have the board discuss first, and then we'll give you an opportunity for a brief rebuttal, if you could. But I don't want to. We're going to have a second hearing on this, obviously. But
don't need to take more time tonight. That's fine with me.
right. But let me just clarify one thing. Trustee Tinaglia brought up this $600,000 figure again. I just want to clarify because we do have press here that $600,000 figure is something that came from a private business that may or may not be true. It could be much higher, it could be much lower. We don't know what it is. So I don't know, I just don't want the press to report that that's the amount that the Village of Arlington Heights is going to realize if they were to opt in and allow businesses to sell. We're going to do some research on that to see what the potential revenue is from allowing the sales of adult use cannabis. But you know, that $600,000 figure, I don't think should be reported in the press. I mean, it's just a number that was thrown out by a business. So, anything further from the board at this point? Okay. Ma'am, you'll have an opportunity to come back next time.
Talk tonight. That's fine. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for coming tonight. All right. If there's no other blue cards, no one else wants to talk to the board on an item not on the agenda. All right, so we'll move on in the agenda to old business, and we appreciate the patience of our two newly appointed commission members. We do have two items to report out tonight, and the first is by Trustee LaBedz.
Thank you, Mayor Hayes. I move now, as I did earlier this evening, to concur in the mayor's appointment of Lindsay Holton Crow to the Arlington Economic Alliance as the downtown representative with a term ending April 30th, 2022.
Second.
Motion by Trustee LaBedz, second by Trustee Baldino. Any questions or comments from the board? Anything from the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, Lindsay, if you come forward. Just come up to the podium if you would. And you got some idea of what this oath is all about, so if you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Lindsay Holton Crow,
Having been appointed to the Arlington Economic Alliance.
have been appointed to the Arlington Heights Economic Alliance.
Close enough. In the Village of Arlington Heights.
In the Village of Arlington Heights.
In the County of Cook.
In the County
of Cook.
Do
solemnly swear and affirm.
Do solemnly swear and affirm.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
As I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the office according to the best of my ability.
Of the office to the best of my abilities.
All right. That's the hardest thing you're going to have to do in your new job. So we appreciate it.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come forward if you would. I'm going to need you to sign this oath with our village clerk, and I'm going to present you with the village logo pin to wear it as a proud representative of this community. So congratulations, Lindsay. She's a little excited. And we have one other motion to report out tonight, and that was by Trustee Tinaglia.
Brian, I'd like to see you top that now. Thanks, Mayor Hayes. Tonight, I'd like to move, as I did earlier this evening, to concur in the mayor's appointment of Brian Wolf to the Arts Commission with a term ending of 4/30/21.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Tinaglia, second by Trustee Schwingbeck. Any questions or comments from the board? Anything from the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations, Brian, if you come forward. If you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Brian T. Wolf,
Having been appointed to the Arts Commission
having been appointed to the Arts Commission
in the Village of Arlington Heights,
in the Village of Arlington Heights,
in the County of Cook,
in the County of Cook,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office according to the best of my ability.
of the office according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations, Brian. That with the clerk as well, and a village logo pen, and wear it proudly as a representative of this village board. Thank you. All right, there's no other old business, so we'd move on to the consent agenda. Are there any members of the board who wish to remove an item on the consent agenda? Seeing none, any members of the audience wish to remove an item on the consent agenda? Seeing none, any members of the board wish to vote no or pass on any item on the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
By Trustee Padovani, seconded by Trustee LaBedz. Any questions or comments from the board? Anything from the audience? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Padovani?
Yes.
Trustee LaBedz?
Yes.
Trustee Schwingbeck?
Yes.
Trustee Rosenberg?
Yes.
Trustee Baldino?
Yes.
Trustee Canty?
Yes.
Trustee Tinaglia?
Yes.
Trustee Scaletta?
Yes.
President Hayes?
Yes. Well, there is no new business, and so we move on to the report of the village manager, Mr. Recklaus.
Thank you, Mayor. Every 2 years, the village board meets to discuss the current challenges facing the community and determine the strategic priorities for the village. The village is going to face a variety of seen and unseen challenges over the next 2 years. However, the priorities identified will serve as the guiding principles for the development of the village staff's biannual business plan and for the annual budget process. The board met on July 9th to discuss the village's priorities for the years 2020 to 2021. And this was the culmination of a number of meetings that were held over the spring where each department discussed priorities from their perspective. And so 9 priorities are being presented tonight, reflecting that discussion on July 9th. And there's a number of sub-priorities, but briefly, the 9 strategic priorities that were identified were identify, explore, enhance revenue sources while monitoring taxes, review, update the village's affordable housing strategy and regulations, continue improving building and life safety processes and customer service, increase efficiencies throughout village processes and procedures, enhance business development efforts, explore new sustainability initiatives, continue with infrastructure improvement efforts, review the impact of changes to cannabis laws, and find new ways to embrace diversity within the community and the village government. Tonight, staff is looking for a motion to adopt the 2020 to 21 strategic priorities.
Well, just to elaborate a little bit on what the village manager had to say, this is not the first time the board is seeing these priorities. We arrived at them after some discussion and deliberation and collaboration and brainstorming on the evening of our goal-setting session. I've been participating in the goal-setting sessions for many, many years now, and they've been very worthwhile and productive in setting a vision for this village board and in turn this village. And I think this is another great list for us to strive to achieve. And so I thank the board for their participation in the process. I think it's resulted in a real good working document that can guide us in the years and months ahead. So any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve. Trustee Scaletta?
I would move now to accept the strategic priorities for 2020 through 2021 as presented.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Scaletta, seconded by Trustee Tinaglia. Any further questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, anything from the audience? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anything else, Mr. Recklouse?
Nothing further.
Okay, anything from the board under petitions and communications? Seeing none.
Mayor.
Trustee Rosenberg.
Just a reminder to everyone that the Walk in the Park is this Sunday from, I believe it's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So please come out to North School Park. So please come out and attend.
It's Sunday only?
Yes.
Okay, on Sunday. All right, thank you, Trustee Rosenberg. Anything further from the board? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
By Trustee Baldino, seconded by Trustee Canty. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.